Hello everyone, welcome back to a new episode of Esoteric Ebb. Last time we left off, we mostly just hung out in the Drunk Sphinx and, talked to the bartender, who was pretty cool. Big gatekeep, gaslight girl boss energy out of her. You know, has her own business, all kinds of stuff. Hello. It's interesting that, yeah. Your keg is included in your model. That is a part of you. Oh, look at the paw, though. Look at that paw. Hello. Olzis, Vault Guardian. Wisdom, behold. Okay, I have good wisdom. Okay, I'll take it. 20. Or 18. Monstrosity. Vagina Sphinx. Thousands of years spent guarding a hole in reality. Remember, her perception is beyond your ability to conceive. For her, a day is a fleeting moment, unless you make it memorable. Vagina Sphinx giving out riddles. A woman searching for something, anything, even remotely interesting about these scurrying mortals. Why else allow them into her lair like this? She is not being exploited. Whatever deal she struck with the barkeep, this beast of Jor could break it at any moment. None of them hold any power over her, yet she cannot leave. Extremely high stats. Obviously your int is very high, which makes sense considering how long you've lived. But every one of your stats is amazing. Lowest is dexterity, and even that's monstrous compared to me. I can't reach that from here. Okay, well I'm not even going to try then. Yeah, not even going to try. A lull falls out of the ambient cheer, just a beat of uncertainty as this cleric steps before the tavern's singular attraction. You have the bravado to wow her, be exactly what you are, do exactly as you do. She, along with everyone else, will love you all the same. Yeah, I could never have that sort of confidence, sorry. Look up at her. Towering, you stare at this somewhat feline creature on the stage. A living myth currently taking a swig out of a barrel, clearly not paying you any mind. Anticipalian. Anticipalian, old Dimenorian term, meaning before the closing of the gates, used to refer to those who lived before the end of the Great Era, exactly 27 years ago. Oh wow, interesting. Interesting number. Considering we're in 2026 right now. The closing, a term for the closing of the gates, the event which ended the Gate Era, occurred exactly 27 years ago. The scent of cheap wine lingers in the air, along with an esoteric sensation. The Genosphinx is not to be trifled with. Her physical characteristics are enough to crush everything that is you. However, she will not have to raise a paw, for her magical prowess could exile you from Jor's realm in an instant. Tread carefully. Your Sphinxisty? Stare at her until she reacts to your presence. Greetings. I mean, this is hilarious. I have to pick it. Yeah, Charisma loved it. So clearly it's fantastic. Perfect opening. Snell hisses. Don't try to be funny. Sphinx looks down at you, meaning her glowing blue gaze makes you feel like you're falling far, far below the world. There are arrows of wisdom behind those eyes. Her expression turns dark. Dark tidings bring you to the hearth, she speaks, low and rolling. You see a hint of chaos in her movements, unfocused. A hound dog dragging its leash around the vestiges of Jor. She extends a claw thick as your arm and pokes you in the stomach. Woof. It's ridiculous. Dogs don't wear helmets. That's rude. Woof. Are we just being turned into a dog here? Woof. Her expression grows lighter, then she lets out a deep breath. Yeah, no, we have to bottom for the Sphinx. It's the only way to not get crushed into a pulp. Smells like an old basement full of booze. She liked that. Somehow you've appeared witty to her. She takes another sip from her barrel, not looking at you. Watch yourself, cleric, he whispers to you. All's a sudden one for idle chit-chat. Turn to Snell, you know the Sphinx? Shakes his head. Every night there's a drunk jackass that asks for a riddle. She usually doesn't hurt him. It's fine, I can handle this creature. Oh my god, no, we're not gonna say that. I'll be careful then. Wise words. I feel like we would need to prove ourselves worthy first. Before asking. Worthy, little one. Worthy how? Won't you give out riddles? Certainly. Are you ready? Yes, please. I love riddles. I don't, but... She finishes the last bit out of her barrel and puts it down with a slam. Then the Sphinx leans in, hissing. Once I had the sun's favor, my creed cling close to the wall. Sun, the light of the day, the great source of power that moves alone across the sky over the day, follows a different pattern of movement in each band, and with different intensities. In Ascani it is small and moves quickly. Interesting. Moves quickly. It seems like we've had a pretty good amount of light today. Okay. Once I had the sun's favor, my creed cling close the wall. Once I had the sun's favor, my creed cling close the wall. I mean, I immediately think of, like, shadows, because that's something that can only be created because of light, and shadows do cling close to the wall? Matured in shadows, I've witnessed empires rise and fall. Once left in silence, now the life of the ball. She raises her paw and gestures to the open chamber. Yet I remain a draught of remembrance, a history's thrall. What am I? Easy. Lovely poem about a life's journey. How time changes all, even the simplest grape. A warlord who cannot learn from his mistakes. Probably a drunkard. Daunting. Your companion smirks and gives a little chuckle. What do you think? How many guesses do I get? Can I think about this for a bit? Let's see. So, all of my voices seem to know. Okay, so... Once I had the sun's favor, my creed cling close to the wall. Matured in shadows, I've witnessed empires rise and fall. Once left in silence, now the life of the ball. She raises her paw and gestures to the open chamber. Yet I remain a draught of remembrance, a history's thrall. What am I? So you're something that's lived across time. Once you had the sun's favor, my creed cling close to the wall, matured in shadows. So yeah, it's something that clings close to the wall, matures in shadows. You've witnessed empires rise and fall, once left in silence, now the life of the ball. So now you're important, whereas before you were ignored. Draught of remembrance, history's thrall. Can I think about this for a bit? What happens if I get it wrong? Can I ask for help? What do you think, Snell? Sphinx turns to Snell with a frown. Oh, you know, that seems like a personal riddle for you, not me. So, I'm just gonna watch, alright? She nods. How many guesses do I get? Hopefully none, but you are allotted one answer. What do I get if I get it right? Sphinx shrugs, then gives you a cold smile. Satisfaction. Is this a trick question? Can I think about this for a bit? What happens if I get it wrong? Can I think about this? No. Answer now or never. Is this a trick question? No. Just a normal riddle. What happens if I get it wrong? Squints at you and raises her chin. Same as all those who wander these halls. You will lose everything eventually. There is no threat here. She means your only pain upon failure will be existence itself, a mortal life. So I would have to roll... So I was kind of hoping with this, I should have known, but I was hoping with this that I would get the opportunity to come to some conclusions myself about what it is. But it seems like no, it is just a roll, because I'm not the one trying to logic this out. It's my poor character with average intelligence. So... Unless I roll at 18, 19, or 20, we're not getting this. So, it's up to you, and it's... 2. You focus your mind to come up with something, anything that could be the answer to the riddle. Something old and time-worn that was once in the light, then lived in shadows for a long time before it became popular again. Oh, yeah, okay, so yeah, it was once in the light because you knew the sun's favor. What could it be? You only get one shot, so make it count. Okay, so I'm guessing the intelligence roll would just... Like, maybe the answer's not even here, actually. I've been here forever. You once knew dragons, sphinxes, apples, food, meat, wine. You did say you're now the... Once I had the sun's favor, my creed cling close to the wall. Oh my god, it is wine. It is wine. It's wine. It's just wine, yeah. Cause this is, grapes, because they grow on like vines, like in a vineyard. So you grow them on like trellises or walls. Then they mature in the shadows. And since wine can mature for a long time, they've witnessed empires rise and fall. Then you were left in silence, and now you're the life of the ball, because, yeah, yet I remain a draught of remembrance, a history's thrall. That's definitely wine. Because, yeah, you used to be grapes, were matured in a wine cellar. Okay, dreams, emotions, heartache. I think it's wine. I just think it's wine. Like, I should look at the rest of these. Dreams, emotions... heartache. None of the other ones make as much sense, and it would make sense for her to be like wine. Hands, weather, trees, music. Look around the tavern to come up with something else to say. I think it's wine. Wine. She gives you an intense stare. Time for a fight? She is strong, but you will defeat her handily with the power of a hero. Yeah, wine. Olzis picks up a new barrel of wine. She pops the cork open. Wine. Yes, that is correct. Very correct, little one. Yes! Okay, so I did get the opportunity to guess. And they even gave me answers, which made it a lot easier. Because if I had sat here for a moment and thought about it, I might have been able to come up with wine, because it makes a lot of sense. Because, yeah, it's a plant that needs the sun to survive, then it doesn't need it because it goes into a wine cellar. Wonderful job. Another riddle solved. I knew it. I am the greatest. Huzzah! Huzzah indeed. Since you're so amazing, would you be interested in a quest? I'm not the questing type of guy. I do not have the ability to decline. Absolutely. Yes, yes, yes. She gives you a serious expression. Accepting a divine quest from a sphinx is no trifling matter, mortal. In fact, few would survive such an ordeal. This is a chance to prove yourself to an ancient creature of myth and legend. You'll also look incredibly manly doing it. A quest? Indeed. Behind me stands a vault. It opens only to those worthy. She leans her massive head downwards, close enough for you to smell the wine breath. To prove worthy, you must solve my most ancient of riddles. So old, it was handed to me when I first stepped inside this chamber millennia past. Bow your head in silence. Companion whispers to you. Going on an epic Sphinx quest now? Sure, why not? Not like we're on a job or anything. This is important, Snell. Maybe to you. No, really, it's very important to the job, too. Convince me. Could be great esoteric knowledge, or like the tea shop. No, you're probably right. I'll solve her riddle. Could grant me, esoteric knowledge. Sighs. Fair enough. Look, I won't stand in the way. You just don't waste too much time on it, okay? Sphinx stares at your companion. A hero must face adversity during his quest. She laughs quietly to herself and takes a swig of wine. So what exactly is this Sphinx quest? This is a riddle, the answer of which is not uttered in words, but revealed by action. She goes quiet and closes her eyes. Just listen. Found within the arcane flare, twin tongues of flame that scorch the air. Tongues, a third-level divination spell, grants a target the ability to understand all languages and for the target's speech to be understandable by any sentient listener. She takes a deep breath, revealing a wicked grin. Burrowed deep within the earth, a primal string to show your worth. She leans in, almost whispering those final words. Folk and gods in thronging herds, a man divine, alone, howls his words. Easy, you understand it immediately. I love riddles, but I'll have to think about this one. The answer is not something you can speak. Yeah, it's magic being cast, I'm guessing. We need to do primal magic, divine magic, and arcane magic. She uses a massive claw to grab something from her pile of stuff and tosses it to you. Tavern key. Once you understand this riddle, return here. You can only solve it during daytime. Alone. We don't want anyone else accidentally figuring out this riddle, would we? She glances at your goblin companion. Goblin groans. I'm not interrupting the job for that. Do it in the morning or something, before you pick me up. Sphinx chuckles. I never sleep, so you can show up anytime after sunrise and before the tavern opens. A great quest! Time to prove yourself as a worthy hero. Isn't it lonely to hang around here for millennia? She takes a deep breath. I must remember that my perspective on time is different from a mortal's. When one views events on a scale measured in eras, a chat like this is but a fleeting blink among a heaven of stars. She speaks from a pool of knowledge deeper than your entire potential existence. So everything is going... morality makes life beautiful. Hanging around the tavern can't be too lonely. So there's no dude Sphinx in your life. Oh god. So everything is going really fast for you? Sphinx takes a moment. When a child grows, a house once thought massive will soon start to feel cramped. As time grinds on, the idea of today is no longer a canyon of possibilities. For me, that house is minuscule. Try jumping side to side really quick. That's so stupid. It's fascinating. Thank you for sharing your perspective. You're welcome, little one. I mean, I don't particularly think mortality makes life beautiful, because, like, I mean, I'm sure they believe their life to be beautiful even though they live a really long time. It's just different, you know, different things. We have to appreciate what we've got, but I don't think it's inherently, like, life needs to be short to make it beautiful. Hanging around a tavern can't be too lonely, right? Times have indeed changed. During what you call the arcane era, I had few visitors. These days, I am inclined to enjoy the life surrounding me, even with its occasional annoyances. While the average quality of my conversations might have declined, there's value in communicating with all manner of creatures. Knowledge comes in all shapes. If the world is full of imbeciles, then knowing imbeciles will let you know the world. And if that is the case, then how many of those people truly can be called stupid? Knowledge comes in all shapes. If the world is full of imbeciles, then knowing imbeciles will let you know the world. If that is the case, then how many of those people truly can be called stupid? Quality over quantity sounds better, honestly. So let's add a deep breath towards you. It's like you're standing in a storm of cheap wine. Perhaps the next century. No, is that a hint that humans are gonna die out? I mean, this feels rude to say. There's no dude Sphinx in your life. It feels weird to say. Also, how do I even know you want a dude Sphinx? You could just want yourself, or want no one, or want another lady Sphinx. You know, who knows? You can want anything. I want to ask something else. Is this tavern your lair, or your lair a tavern? She lifts the barrel to her lips and holds it there for a moment. Eventually she lowers it and says, That is indeed a riddle worth pondering. Can I ask why? Why what? Why a tavern? I was convinced. She glances at the pile of wine by her side. It was not a battle quickly won. However, Rixbitter worked tirelessly for many an evening to argue her point. Eventually, in completing a few quests on my behalf, I let her rent out a part of my lair, but only for a century. Do you like the hustle and bustle in here? I'm content, for now. Yes. Has anyone ever tried to fight you? Yes. Alcohol tends to lower risk assessment capabilities among mortals, which sometimes ends with violence. Always from a man, strangely enough. I do wonder why. Yeah, I wonder. Not always. You've seen some feisty women during your street watch days. You a big drinker? I partake. It does little to affect me, but the taste is lovely. It's cost a lot to get you all this wine. No, Vixbitter procures it all for me. Such lovely river wine. Takes another sip. I've grown to enjoy the taste. Nice to see you enjoying your tavern lair. I've got other questions. What do you know about the tea shop? Oh my god, I can attempt to flirt with the Sphinx. I will die. Also, there's something that's lived this long, like, did they even have the capability for horny anymore, or are they just over it at this point? If they're not just over it, their tastes and proclivities must be something that's completely unfathomable to me. What do you know about the tea shop? Startled me, which is not an easy thing to do. I'd imagine you're quite close to it. Yes, an explosion like that has not been felt in this place for decades at least. Stay quiet for a few seconds, then jump towards her and yell boo. This would be something I would do, I think. Like this dork character. Boo. Ah. By the gods, you scared me, little one. You're so funny, little one. Giggle and feel proud. Yes, it reminded me of our darkness. What your people called the Fade era. It was a time just before I was tasked with guarding this vault. Then the Molluska Tulinkatl often bargained with me for divine knowledge and assistance. Mollusk? Yeah, I like those snails. They were good company. I was saddened when their city melted under Isuth's fire. The crackling of those flames, the terrible force that ruined everything in its path. Flames of many colors. Memories of beasts in the day of Jor. Those thoughts stirred in me when I felt that explosion. Old magic. You've been here since the Fade era. Yes, there were some excursions early on, but yes, a bit over a millennia ago. That's awesome. Thank you. Snails. She nods. They built the first city here. From what I know, you've walked their streets, little one. These are my streets, not there. Can you tell me more about these folk? A bit, yes. They were masters at wizardry far before the Arcanists, or humans for that matter, even arrived to Jor's coast. They made some poor choices during their rise and fall. They aligned with Jor against the gods for one. And of course they picked the wrong side of the Dragon Wars. It's a tragic tale of a civilization I truly believe to be good. Good for the coast. They were just a little slow. Caught up to them in the end. Interesting. One you believe to be good and on the wrong side of the Dragon Wars. By wrong side, do you mean the evil side? Or just the side that lost? Because you say here, I truly believe them to be good. They aligned with Jor against the gods. Interesting, interesting. And we've learned some stuff about Jor. There's so much lore in this game to keep up with. Do you think it was Dragonfire that caused the explosion? She scoffs. No, I do not. No, she thinks you're stupid now. It was much too concentrated of a blast. Besides, a dragon large enough to cause such destruction would also surely not be capable of sneaking away without a single witness. Could someone use Fireball to cause the explosion? Sphinx shrugs. Seen more than a fair share of those in my time. Seems like everyone uses it. Third level Fireball would not come close to that power. What about a higher level fireball? She shrugs. Would have to be very high. So who knows, but I'm sure you'll figure it out. Tell me about Isuth. I'd prefer not. His terrible reign is a topic left out of polite conversation. Whenever you see the flaming mounds upon the burned coast lit up in smoke and cinder, you will know. His will has not gone away. Not for a moment. God, this game is so cool, and it scratches my particular types of interests so well. Because not only is it more of a fantasy setting and more D&D inspired, but I just love learning about the history of things. Like, albeit I won't be able to keep all of it in my head, and I won't, you know, be able to remember every single bit of it. But it's just so neat to learn about all the different cultures and all the stuff with going on with the world, and I'm really invested in it too. I just love getting to read about all this stuff, but I like history, so yeah, real shocker that I love history in games too. Flames of many colors? Blue, yellow, and purple. It is said if you can see the purple, it will be the last thing you do. Ooh, purple flames are strongest! That's all for now, thank you. You're welcome. What are you voting in the election? I'm not. You're not apolitical, are you? What? Why? Shakes her head. I cannot leave to vote, I'm afraid. Even if it was in my business to leave an imprint on the affair of mortals. Yeah, I mean, you're kind of outside of our voting stuff, I think, to be fair. You've lived for millennia at this point, so... If you could leave, what would you vote? Oh, I don't know. Just wants to claw at you. What would you have me vote for if you were in my shoes? Nationalists, they will uphold Earth's stability. The Free Striders, they'll bring prosperity. For me, it will lead us to a glorious future as a wizard god king. That would be a run I would want to do at some point. If I replayed this, which there's a very, very good chance I will on my own time at some point. I would go for a wizard god king route. The Asgulls, they will make the city fair and equitable. Ah, yes. A bunch of failed revolutionaries will surely be the best choice to safeguard the future. I mean, just because previous generations failed or it didn't work out one time doesn't mean it's not going to work out in the future. We can't just get rid of these cool ideals just because it failed one time. If we just quit when we failed once with everything, then... oh, well, we would never accomplish anything. You find yourself advocating for Asgulist ideals. She gives you a knowing smile. But, I mean, from her point of view, she's probably seen this come up many, 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 many times. She knows more than you'll ever learn. Can't leave here even for a minute or two? I could, but that would break my divine quest. Fair. Would not have expected a mortal to understand. Interesting. Okay, good to know. Takes a long sip. What's that door behind you? Nothing. It's clearly something. I mean, I know what it is. How perceptive of you, little one. She holds up a paw as if presenting a prize. Behind me lays but one divine vault of many. She lowers her head slightly in a tiny bow. I am its protector. It's really not more complicated than that. So you might be able to leave once I, open the door. I mean, I'm going to fail, but, like... And I respect you way too much to actually do this. Like, there's no way I would ever flirt or try to flirt with a creature that's, like, several thousand years older than me and looks at me like a newborn child. But my dork character might, and it's a funny option. You're a very impressive creature, you know that? Mm-hmm. She taps her claws. Where are you going with this, little one? Yeah, this might be a bad idea. Goblin companion kicks you in the shin. You want to get mazed? He uses at you? That's how you get mazed. Goblin is referring to the concept of being magically transported into an endless prison. Which is technically something a Genosphinx could be capable of, just so you know. Advantage, you solved her first riddle, but I still need 30! Oh my god. You'd need really godlike charisma. I mean, yeah. Maybe we come back after we solve the other riddle. Yeah? Never mind. Alright, little one. Assume you simply coughed very loudly. Okay, I'll be going now. Thank you, Great Sphinx. Okay, yeah, that went places. I mean, I expected it was going to be a pretty crazy ask, but like I said, maybe once we solve that particular riddle, we'll be good. Also this. An old well. Approach the old well, it's dry. I want to just jump, but I have something else I need to do. Because we needed to get to a place. Wait, what is that? Oh, that was my marker. Never mind. I wanted to get to a place. Because there was supposed to be a meeting that was happening at night. And I've got to remember where that is. Okay, where was that? Trouble... Oh, wait. You hear there's trouble on Water Lane this evening on the first day of Tolstad? You should check it out. Meeting up on Water Lane this evening. Yes. City is changing. Okay, so I need to get to Water Lane. That's where we need to go next. I'm also probably going to be staying up late tonight, I guess. But yeah, the Sphinx is super interesting. I liked the Sphinx a lot. What is this? Central Temple of Earth, don't care. Water Lane View, where is that? Yeah. Water Lane View. Down the temple steps, across the circle square, through the garden tunnel, over the pillar crossing. Down the steps, across the circle square, through the garden tunnel. Okay. Down the stairs. I don't even know if this is the one it's talking about. Okay, we should sprint. Here we go. Okay. Down here. Through the circle square? Are you someone new? No. Through the garden? Which has got to be this. I think I remember, yeah, like we could come down here. And that led to Water Lane. Enter? I think one of these took you to Water Lane, not Garden Lane. One of these places. Tunnel to the river. Ooh, wait. I never got these? Potted mushroom tucked away in the corner. Did you just rip those mushrooms out of a pot? What? Why did you do that? It was cultivated there. It was a potted mushroom. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. Oh, sure, you know what you were doing. Pure evil. The primal scream. Someone worked hard cultivating those. Now you've just taken them. Can't put them back? No, you have to live with it. No. No. That's what I get for stealing. Yeah, I mean, it's funny that this game and, you know, like other RPGs like this call out the weird behavior that video game protagonists have. Central Tolstad. Okay, so I think the river would be where I would want to go. Like, I realize I have not totally followed those directions. But... hidden dialogue choices. Yeah, here we go. And does this lead to Water Lane? Towards the holes. That's not where I need to be. Damn, where was Water Lane? Because this has got to be the garden, right? There wasn't another door down here, right? Like this way or something? Where does this go? Viskin's Lich House must be located within these walls just a bit further up. Tunnel to the lower lair. I don't think I want to go there. Gosh, I'm having a hard time figuring out where Water Lane is, but I need to get over there. Yeah, like I know I've seen an entrance somewhere. At some point. Was it this? Pillar Crossing. Okay, they did say I had to go through Pillar Crossing to get the Water Lane, didn't they? Pillar Crossing. What is this? Main entrance to the Drunk Sphinx. What? That's another one? Another entrance to the Drunk Sphinx? That's weird. And this is why it's called Pillar Crossing, because this is down here. The Goblin Garden. It smells musty. Okay, so yeah, basically just a bunch of things lead here. The Depths of Tolstad. Okay, well, I need to get to Water Lane, like I said, so... Dormitory, out of commission, psych. Tunnel to Water Lane. The docks echo from beyond. There we go. Found it. Okay, Pillar Crossing is just where we can go to get access to everything, which I should have assumed from that. Alright, I definitely need to end this episode off, though. Has to be a little bit of a shorter one today because I'm running a bit behind and haven't been feeling great the past few days, but hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time for some more